Alrighty, good morning guys. Hope you are well. It is Saturday morning and we are here for another live race. Bit of a different one to my normal, although admittedly the same arranged event as last week, but this week, rather than being somewhat hilly around Yorkshire, we are on the greatest London flats. 5 laps, 125 kilometres with the Portuguese Atando or Corpo events once again, killing the body. Wanted to try and accrue some time in tempo, having done quite a bit of threshold and above work this week, so I imagine this one will be largely tempo once it settles down, with some little zone 5-6 punches up some of the small little rises really. So interested to see how such a race plays out really. So yeah, about 50 signed up so far. Let's see how we go. Hey Dad, you alright? Go. Little split already. 40 I've made that first selection. Cheers, Gus. You too, mate. Drafting practice for me today. Bit flat for my usual liking, but good chance to work the weaknesses, right? And it's a big build week, so good TSS. Past 7 days, 1150 TSS. Recovery yesterday. Big day today and tomorrow, and then a recovery week. Which should be good. Hey, Toby. Yeah, quite the week. I had a week off work, so it was a week off work, so I had the time to recover better. So for a week we thought, let's try and put 6 on the CTL. I normally hover around 120 CTL, going up to 126 this week, and then a recovery week next week. But yeah, only doing it because I had the week off. So literally, I was riding and I was recovering, and that was it. Nice, Gus. Yeah, cheers, mate. Enjoy your race. Yeah, I'm normally in that range, David. Hey Michael, yeah, you know me. Longer's better. Hope you do well on the out climb today. So you're signed up for that. Good luck, mate. Yeah, I mean, unless you're building for something, there's not much point, mate, but it's up to you, isn't it? Mine's essentially a relic from earlier in the year when I was training for half Ironmans and all that got cancelled, so we just adopted an undulating plan rather than the usual build one. So I've just been hovering around 115, 120 most of the year. Mostly zone 2, you know. Yeah, should be type 2 fun, Michael. Well, that's the lead enough. 5 laps from here, technically. Yeah. It's just endurance stuff mostly, Michael, though. Just doing interval rides for 45 minutes and then tacking on 2 hours of zone 2 every time. Good for muscle fatigue, you know, resistance. Nice. Yeah, I was thinking about it tomorrow myself, to be honest. We'll see. Yeah, not on a flat race, mate. Not with all these heavy weights. It's mostly just accruing some time in zone today. Finish off the build week strong. Bit of drafting practice. And almost an hour in zone 6 this week on intervals.
So, yeah. Cumulative time. As well as an hour and a quarter of sweet spot early in the week. So we're just seeing how we go. Interesting to see how it races too, you know. As a longer flat race. Not my usual. Just an experiment. Yeah, maybe, mate. We'll see. Yeah. Again, only doing it because I had the recovery time. That's the key, isn't it? If you're going to push the workload, you got to push the recovery time. Hey, John. That's what we do, mate. I'm not young enough for short races. You know, John. I'm not under 23 like half this field. That's what I'm talking about. Just enjoy it. Yeah, more TSS to round off my big week off work build week. Takeaway yesterday, which was an active recovery day. The 7 days before that were 1170 TSS, which is good. Nice job. You guys who are on Twitch, if you don't mind giving us a little like on the YouTube channel, that's appreciated. Still trying to grow things over there. Links are down below. Be appreciated. Gonna write a training blog update this afternoon for the last month. Some quite interesting stuff in there this month. A lot about the mental aspect of Zone 5 and Zone 6 training. A few book reviews that I've read on that topic. So yeah, check out the blog link below for a nice little read. Ideal length to read on the toilet while you're having your daily constitutional. Mostly. There's the occasional 20-minute epic read. They're few and far between. A few of them. Endurance, Alex Hutchinson, The Cycling Mind, and then for a bit of enjoyment on a similar theme, Shut Up Legs. Oh yeah, it's fucked. The Jens Vox one's quite interesting at the start. Talks a lot about the East-West Germany before the war came down. And really interesting to see how that affects the life of a sort of pro athlete actually, as he was just breaking into the ranks. That's better. Just trying to optimise that group position a little further back. Draft like a beast. Oh, nice, John. Oh, that's good news, right? Not bad news. Races are harder, but progression's great. Aye. Yeah. I never got that, John, because when my FTP was around the BCAT area, I never really raced. I didn't really race on Zwift for a good year. So I raced at the pointy end of C when I first got on. And then when I came back to racing, having just been sort of outdoor riding mostly and a bit of training, I was pretty much bumped up to A straight away. So never really had that kind of B racing fun. That's good, John. Shows progression after the injuries. It's good news overall. So I haven't ridden this course very much. We do the first few hundred metres of Box Hill, and then we go straight on through Richmond Park, and then round the other elevator. So that's the main little bumps. That's where the main efforts will be of the lap, I expect. Oh, nice. Well, for 20 minutes. Or for an hour. Well, if they're longer, John, yeah, but not the 1 minute efforts. Heavyweight guys can smash up those easy enough. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, about 90 BMI. Yeah, 185 centimeters, 65 kilos. That's still pretty damn good, John. Crikey. That's not like entry level A, is it? That's not getting dropped in every A race straight away. That's for sure. Well done. Alright, see how this little bump goes. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm a high cadence guy. TT background. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's good for spinning the legs out too. Longer rides, I find. Yeah. Speaking of spiking the heart rate, here comes one. Yeah, enjoy, Michael. Have a good one. Cloudy but dark here still, Dad. Only just getting light. Barely. The music stopped. Hey Stu, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Happy Saturday. Hopefully. Yeah, pretty much, Stu. Just having quite a big build week on my week off work, so I'm going to finish off the week strong. Although flatter than my usual hardcore. Greatest London flat, 5 laps. So probably mostly zone 2, zone 3 aerobic capacity border with a few zone 5, 6 punches, depending on how the race gets animated later. Jump on it. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, Duke. Early days. Easier start for sure. There's quite a lead into this course, about 7.5k, so that's why we're 30k in and only on lap 1 still. Finishes at the Manor on the Mall. 30k, 40 minutes, as you'd expect on a flat course. So what's everyone else up to this weekend? Nice, Stu. Seems like the delay on YouTube chat's a bit less. I put it on ultra low latency, so should be less than the 15 seconds typically. In fact, I'll do a test for those that are listening intently. When I say the word in a second, post when you hear it. Ready? Now. Oh, I don't think anyone's ready for that, because it ain't that slow. Oh, nice, TT. What TT's that? Okay, let's try that again, Laura, because I wasn't sure you're ready for that. Post a chat message in 3, 2, 1, now. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it is. I tried the setting, but not sure it is. Alright. Yeah, didn't seem very low latency that to me. Still a good 10 seconds or more. Not sure if it committed that change on the stream. We'll see. Yeah, okay, Laura, thank you. Yeah, must still be a little bit high on latency. Yeah. Alright, that too. That's the warm-up done. Trying to be as far back as I reasonably can for best drafting without compromising any potential moves. I'm really working on that on flat races. Get that watts per kilo average down. So you got a bit more for the punches. Oh, tofu tomato, sorry. I thought you meant time trial, that's what confused me. I was like, time trial today? Yeah, I was tempted by the XL this morning. It's a good course, but it might compromise what I want to do tomorrow, which is still pending right now, what happens today. But yeah, fun course that. I know my coach Ed is doing the XL today, live streaming it right now, Ed Lavrat, YouTube. Check it out, him and Goose. Doing that together. I'll watch that afterwards, as well as Phil Lovett, who's doing a live FTP test this morning. Right now, probably done by now. Should be good. Yeah, good stuff, Stu. I'll try and check in if you're streaming out later. Should be about this afternoon. Fueling for today was a little small bowl of oats this morning, not a lot, because I didn't get up too early. I was only up 20 past 6. And then I've got a banana, a potential bit of Cliff Bar if I need it, and a beta fuel if I need it again. We'll prioritise the beta fuel after about an hour and a half probably, for what's probably about a 3-hour race, just to get some carbs in easily. See how we go though. Had a decent amount of food on my recovery day yesterday, so I feel like I just was fairly well topped up, and we're spending a lot of time in fat burning zones. So that's the theory. Because I spent quite a lot of hours on the bike this week, sweating and kind of wiping your face and that. I had to put some Vaseline on those. It was just getting a bit raw from the constant wiping. It's not ideal. Saddle sore on the nose, effectively. Hey Lewis, how you doing, mate? Cheers. Hope you're well. Yeah, indeed. It's 2 weeks in a row. It's Portuguese, isn't it? Matando a Corpo. I thought it was Spanish at first, but Matando, that's Portuguese, right? As opposed to Spanish, I think. Yeah, thought so. I like the races a bit longer. Yeah, exactly, Lewis. Yeah, that's right. That's what confused me at first. I studied Spanish at school, but not Portuguese. Couple of lone breakaways. One of this end. Interesting. Ah, sounds good, Lewis. Oh, nice. Might get a chance to watch you and Stu do it later. That'll be good. Nice fun course. Well done. Nice, Stu. Alright, Dad, have a good one. Take it easy. Breathe. I heard yesterday there's going to be another tofu tornado in the Australasia region. That's good. Get the team name out there more. Yeah. Not for us, Stu, but good for some. Well, we're averaging about 44 here overall. Which is just under the 3-hour mark if we keep that up. Osaka. Unhappy with the pace slowing. Alright, Stu. Thanks, mate. Yeah, podium on a flat race isn't much to ask for me, Stu. We'll do what we can, though. Richmond Park currently. Thanks, Phil. Yeah, power up to a thing, it's a game after all. Oh, that was a bit grippy. Thought that might be the area where we have to push each lap. Definitely a punch and recover race. That last punch was pretty hard. See if we can get ourselves slightly better positioned next lap for that. Yeah, nice. That work. That would work. Just about keeping those legs active so that when the punches do come, you're not completely cold to them, because they are quite strong. The recovery in between is quite light. Just telling yourself that there is recovery after the punch. And it's kind of what I wanted from a race. Punchy. Maybe, or yeah. Yeah, fun times. Yeah, the old Portuguese team are just trying to keep going 1-2 punch with all their riders here. They can afford to. Half the front bunch is their yellow jerseys. Just trying to tire everyone out, make a move that sticks eventually. Yeah, Trump bike is good. It's not quite the fastest on this course, but it's a close second. Well, it's V for vegan, but yeah, I like it. It's our team vegan kit. It works. Oh, Thank you. 30 minutes, Laura. Need another juice and another carb bottle. Thank you. Certainly before 2 hours, but we're okay for now. Coming up on the hour and a half. Halfway in kilometres. Thanks, Laura. Just want to give you early warning on that. Alright, cool. Sounds good. That'll be ideal. About 21 of the truck group. Hey Paul, thanks mate, doing too bad. How are you? Oh no, sorry to hear that, mate. Hope that passes soon. Right, next big effort. better. Little leg snappers. Keep building up. Oh, recover. Thanks, physique. Hope you're well, buddy. Here, campus. Hi, Paul. How you guys doing? How's your stream? We're on Greatest London Flat, 5 laps. Bit flat for a 65 kilo guy like myself, but we're trying different things, eh? Don't chase them, we'll get eventually. Zach. Carbs, juice and hydration. Welcome back. Oh. at the moment. Yep, just lots of little punches to keep up with. The Portuguese yellow jerseys are attacking all the way through, keeping it strong. So many of them. In one sense it is, Phil. In the other sense though, it's a bit flat. How you doing? I hope your test went well. Looking forward to watching that after this. And Ed's race. Ah, you spoiled it, Phil. But yeah, well done. Well done, mate. That's cracking. Nice job. I'll still watch you suffering. Sec. Give me 2 minutes. Oh. Get in there, guys. Super punchy. Everyone else is getting tired though, except the Portuguese team that's got half the front punch. They're attacking well as a team, I'll give them that. They're playing it well. Lots of attacks. 1-2 punches. Maybe it's open, we'll see how it goes. Right, it's the PETA-Z team. A lot of Spaniards in the team for the Portuguese team. It's their race, you see. Their organised race. And they support it very well. It's typically a good third of the field is them, maybe half in ACAT. Hour to go, just under. Everyone just recovering a bit before the Richmond Park smash. It's just Richmond Parkville. So a little punch up here and straight on. Greatest London flat. Yeah. Although this is where it does tend to explode each lap. The one little bump. So have to be super vigilant on here. Nice, Lewis. Sugar is crack for kegs, isn't it? There's Phil. It's been like that all race. Zone 1 or 2, all big pushes. The Portuguese yellow jerseys keep attacking with all their numbers. Keep surging the group. Right now, another one off the front. Just stretch the group out again. I imagine so, on Discord or something. A little bit in the chat there, in Portuguese no doubt. Pretty much, Phil. That's what they're doing. It's good tactics. I'll be on your own. currently. Maybe different on the final lap. I think they're just little micro attacks to tire the bunch out basically for the final lap. Oh man, with the group go. Oh, lost connection there. Lost the group and lost all the draft because of the wireless dropout. From the game dropout. Yeah. Didn't work. Oh. Yeah, big training week, Phil. In the past 7 days, ignoring yesterday. Had a week off work, so went for a build. 1170 TSS in 7 days before this race. So yeah, big build, big recovery next week. Normally do 800 to 850 a week. With a week off work, extra time to recover. We pushed the envelope. Week off's basically been train, eat, sleep. Yeah. But you know, I've always done endurance, as you know, so a lot of my time is just long hours in zone 2. But it's been an hour in zone 6 in that 7 days, cumulatively, which has been strong. About an hour and a quarter of sweet spot. So yeah, it's been good. Yeah, recover well after this. Just lots of intervals, really trying to push that 1 to 2 minute power a bit more for this sort of effort, to be honest. As you can see, it's mostly 1 and 2 minute surges. Yeah. Alrighty, let's recover as much as we can before final Richmond Park, which will kick off. Saving it for that. At the moment, Stu, yeah, we're trying. Hope your jaws went alright. Okay, Stu. Yeah, dry here but overcast so far. Barely got light though. It was 9 o'clock before it wasn't actually just purely dark. Even now it's very grey. See what the makeup of the group is here, who wants to sprint versus who doesn't. It'll kick off at Richmond Park because not everyone wants to sprint, that'll be for sure. So there's definitely some heavier riders in here. Hey Sam, you well, buddy? Alright, approaching the bridge, head out to Surrey one last time. Not me. Right, they're off. Mark. Indeed, Phil. I'd like to save the feather for the second climb. We'll see. Hey Gus, how you doing, man? How'd your race go? Oh, good stuff. Oh, nice. Don't give me the answer, the result yet. I want to watch it in a bit, so don't tell me the result. Sounds good. Come on, man. Push. Ah. That was tough. The other guy didn't work. Cheers, Bill. Cheers, Bill. Hard after 120k. I'll create a CSS up a little. Keep the boss happy. Yeah. Hey Giorgio. Yeah, exactly, Stu. Just need some help. Hope you're well, Giorgio. Enjoyed your last video. 2-week FTP increase. Should be fun to see. Alright. See if we can cover a little bit to at least have this wheel sucker. It was just a little bit much. They kicked so hard on the escalator after that effort for Richmond Park, and just I burnt so many 30-second matches this race, closing gaps, that I only had 600 watts. Alright, Giorgio. Well, if test day didn't go well, then it makes it easier to increase it in 2 weeks, yeah? Yeah, that's the idea, Stu. See what we got. Not a power up, we're at 3 laps, bar that one feather. Got plenty of time to the guy behind, so it's alright. Yeah, fair enough, Georgia. Thanks for the follow. We are streaming to YouTube as well. Likes and subscribes over there are appreciated. Sit on your wheel for a bit, mate. How you like it? He's playing the game. Then again, he's PETA-Z, so I'm not even racing him really. It's always a race though, right? Always. Well, perhaps not a true cat bee, Stu, but if he's cat bee, I'm not racing him. And if he's doing above the watts per kilo, he gets DQ'd. So in reality, he won't have done above the watts per kilo because it's far too punchy. Most of this race I've been at 3 watts per kilo. Well, maybe 3.5. But you can see the average. Normalised should be quite high relative to average because it's been blue or red pretty much. Oh, well, we are getting to the end, guys. I do appreciate you all being here for this long race. Many of you have been here for nearly all the time, so thank you so much. If you guys are looking for something else to watch after this, I can recommend many things. Giorgio Capella Cycling has put some good videos out this week. Check him out on YouTube. Phil, Bike Racing Without Mercy, has just done a live 20-minute FTP test. Kudos for doing that live. I did it once myself in an individual time trial. It's motivating, but scary as hell. And then Ed Laverack and Goose have just raced in the vegan Tofu Tornado, actually. XL, 2 laps of the Wasopia 8, whatever 8, figure 8, I forget which one. So do check those guys out for more content after this. I myself will have a cool down after this, as you'd expect. And then Laura is making a lovely vegan lasagna for lunch. So looking forward to that. Hey, no worries. Always happy to shout out other great content creators. I am looking to potentially get into the vlogging game myself at some point, but I don't want to just do it the same as everyone else, you know what I mean? So I've got a written blog below. Those that are interested in a bit of 5-minute reads on the toilet, do check that out. This weekend will be another training update for the last 4 weeks. So mentioning stuff about overcoming mental barriers. So do check that out. Right, focus. Yeah, Sam. No worries, Giorgio. I do race reports there typically as well. But yeah, I try to keep the writing going because I'm a very mathematically minded person, a scientist and coder, so everything's numbers. I do try to write some prose occasionally just to keep my hand in. Anyway, focus. Only 2 of us. Speed's not too high. Probably a 250 job. Well, he's not even going for it. There we go. 15th place. 2:43, 3.7 average. But I think that'll be pretty punchy. Let's have a look at some numbers, shall we? Thanks, guys. We got beaten by AB. Top was 3.9. We weren't the worst wheel sucker. And considering how flat a course it was, we were always going to do a bit more watts per kilo than everyone. But the actual watts weren't too bad. There we go. Give some thumbs up there to those that finished ahead of us. And the guy behind us was on limit, clearly. 172 heart rate average, so fair play, probably was a B. Alrighty, let me just quickly catch your messages and then we'll have a look at the graph. Problem is, when I go off OBS, I lose the YouTube messages. Let me check that. Quite pleased with the way I felt in general. The idea of doing this race as opposed to a traditionally hilly race was that I'm trying to work that punch, that 1 to 2 minute punch, and I knew that this race would have a lot of short spikes, so really good, yeah. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I mean, my fresh sprint is 12 watts per kilo for 15, but I say fresh at the end of a short race. But when I saw that the guy wasn't even sprinting, there was little point there. So yeah, let me unclip and have a look. Yeah, cheers, Stu. Thank you, Giorgio. Let's have a look at the graph, shall we, just to conclude what I think was the case there and get the mic sorted for you. There we go, let's do that. You don't want to guess the TSS? 2,400 calories, who wants to guess the TSS? You see, it wasn't crazy, only 363 for 1 minute, and 318 for 5, probably a little push. You know, not big numbers, but just very punchy, so yeah. 197 is the guess from Phil. Yeah, not bad. 252, 2 hours 52. Yep, might not be far away. 231. All right. Yeah, so we're adding that 197 or 200, shall we say, to 1,170 since last Friday, with effectively 2 rest days in between. So that was 1170 TSS in 6 days. Let's see what we got. Right. There's a spikiness for you. TSS is 193. Bike Racing Without Mercy takes the prize there. Very, very close indeed. When I put this race in Training Peaks, Phil, it may interest you to know, I estimated 195 TSS when I estimated this in Training Peaks. So I was pretty close, and you were damn close as well. So well done indeed. Yeah, just spiky, as you can see. Look at the heart rate. It's sort of up, down, up, down, up, down, and although there's, as expected, there's not many massive blocks of red. You know, you've got some red and orange here that were a bit sustained. That was another one through Richmond Park where they really pushed, and then you've just got these here. But just lots of little digs, you know, lots of little times where you just had to punch. And again, historically, that's not my ballpark. You know, you get me to sit at threshold, and I'll relatively happily, you know, relative to other things, I'll do that for a while. Yeah, recovery zone 2, and that's the thing. Actually, I did a good workout with, which Ed suggested on Thursday, and it was a tough one anyway. But it was very tough, having done 243 TSS the day before and an hour and 15 at sweet spot. But the workout was effectively 2 minutes at 125% of FTP, so 400 watts for me, followed by 2 minutes at 240 watts, so, you know, top end of zone 2, lower end of zone 3, and then repeat that 4 times. So again, your recovery is on the zone 2, zone 3 border, and you do that 4 times, then you get 3 minutes break, then you do 1 minute at 135% of FTP, so 435 watts, back down again to that 240 watts for 2 minutes recovery, do that 5 times, then 3 minutes again of recovery, only at zone 2 again, and then your final thing is 30 seconds all-out sprint with a recovery of 2 minutes at 240 watts again. And I'm not afraid to say that I had to extend the recoveries to 3 minutes and even 4 on one of them, just because it was rough. And just in case that wasn't enough, because we're on a big build week, I tacked on 2 hours at 225 watts in zone 2 at the end of it to get the TSS up. So the week has been pretty fascinating, actually. In fact, are any of you guys interested in seeing what my week has looked like in terms of Training Peaks? If I could share that just at the end, let me just save that. I can show you my Training Peaks just to give you an idea of kind of what I have been doing in this build week and that sort of thing, just at the end to round it off. Let's just put that for now. We'll update that later.
if I can just do a screen share, it might be interesting for somebody to see the sort of training I do and where I have been for a while. More of this will be on the blog down below and the update that's coming at the end of this. Let me just see if I can just add a quick screen capture. 1 second. Doing it on the fly. Do appreciate your patience. New scene. Yep. Used to do this all the time, but this is where I share my desktop and show goodness knows what. Let's just go for display capture. This is where you see yourself. Wave to yourself on the screen when you see it. Hey, there you go. You're on the screen. Right, bring it up. There's my broadband test. Let's go to Training Peaks. And launch app. Right, are you guys seeing Training Peaks? Let me know if you are. And I'll show you. It's only on part of the screen. Right, let's see if you can see Training Peaks. If I bring up the stream on my side, just to confirm. Sorry for the amateur hour here. I play my stream, I can confirm what you can see, which is good. Naturally, it's behind now. You can see it? Cool. Okay, so here we go. It might be interesting for you guys to see what I capture as well. So that's just gone up there now. Got up as 190 for some reason. So yeah, 124 fitness and 145 fatigue after today. So I actually went into this race in about -20 form because of what I've built. Yeah, that was a new 5-minute power, and I did that in erg mode actually, Phil. I've done a few erg mode tests this week actually. You can do a sort of VO2 max in erg mode. You can just kind of hold on. I tried a 1-minute power test in inverted commas in erg mode because my idea is that typically in a 1-minute power test, you'll smash it at the top and kind of hold on. And I wanted to see if I can actually build some raw strength. I've not got a lot of strength. Endurance, yes. Strength, no. So I thought if I go in erg mode and actually set the erg to be my previous best 1-minute power in watts, which was 550, albeit that was at 67 kilos, and then just try and hold on effectively. So I'm not starting out with a big burst, I'm just holding on. And I did that. I think it came out of 547 at 65 kilos. So it's about 8.3 or something watts per kilo. But I came to the end of it and I was like, well, I did that. And I felt there was about 20 more watts in the bank. So really interesting. And I might put in some more 1-minute intervals at high power in erg mode. But so that's a little takeaway from the week. But yeah, if we just have a look at the calendar, I do put other things in here. I have lots of notes for Ed, you know. Oh yeah, ZRL internet nightmare. My internet went out 5 minutes before the ZRL race, bit of a pain. But this has been the build week ultimately. And what you'll notice is that a load of time is spent at zone 2. So we've got here, Monday was 30-15s. 3 sets at 125% of FTP, which is 400. So that literally last Monday set a new 5-minute power at 125% FTP. So I used that at 30-15. So 3 blocks, 13, 30-15s, 5-minute recovery at top end zone 1. Straight into 20 minutes at 273. This is something Ed quite likes to do a lot. You know, he likes to sort of get your fatigue resistance built up by doing a lot of zone 3 at the end of it. So I tacked on 3 sets of 30-15s, 5-minute break, 20 minutes at zone 3, and then straight into an hour and 20 minutes at 225, and then cool down. So you really build up the fatigue resistance and the CSS here. But you're not smashing the nervous system too much by tacking that on there as well. So that was Monday. That was 183 TSS. And bear in mind that we weren't coming into this build week completely fresh, because the weekend before, if you take so Thursday was a recovery day, just some yoga. We did some intervals here on Friday. Did that before work, and then I had the vegan cake break, which is a little zone 1 ride. A nice start to the weekend. Giorgio says, are all sessions on the indoor trainer? At the moment, they mostly are, but in the when it's nicer weather, typically my aerobic ride's done outside. So like on Wednesday, you can see 4 hours of aerobic conditioning free ride. That was done inside. That was actually done with one of the new pace bots with Bowie Brevet. It keeps it a bit more interesting. But yeah, typically they'd be outside when the weather allows. So yeah, we had that on Friday. Then we had the Matando Corpo Yorkshire race, which we did with Ed. That was pretty big. And then we had the Edmo ride, just cooling down afterwards. I then did the Zwift Gran Fondo, which I didn't race like Phil and Ed did. I just basically did it at mostly Zone 2. The only difference is that I think when it came to the epic KOM finish, I just did it at Zone 3, just to kind of push it up a little bit. Still came about 50th, I think, in that, actually. So that's kind of a typical week, I would say. That's the kind of 800 to 850 TSS. Bike duration 16 to 17 hours, as you can see. So quite a lot there. Coming out of the week with 120 fitness and 129 fatigue. And then going into this build week, the idea was to try and get about between 4 to 7 on the CTL, such that we can push into a nice recovery week next week. But just to also see on a week off work what I can do. Pretty well. Giorgio says, obviously with no races at the moment, do you have a goal in mind or any goals you're training towards? Yeah, so over the winter, the most simple goal is to try and improve at Zwift racing. But alongside that, I'm trying to improve my strength on the bike. So I'm typically reasonably good at longer stuff, which is great. But I am trying to get better at the punchy stuff, which is why we're picking up some races like this. And you can see some of the workouts that I'm doing. We're trying to push that. Long term, I want to do a Haute route next year. The Haute route Alps is already sold out, but I have loosely signed up for the Haute route Dolomites at the end of August. That's a 5-day event, so 4 days of sort of long mountain climbing and then a mountain time trial at the end of it. So I feel like that suits my physiology and a lot of my current riding ability fairly well. But what I'll do, hopefully, is once we get to the back end of winter, beginning of spring, we'll shift a little bit from the kind of punchy stuff and the Zwift racing into the more outdoor long mountain climbs and the sweet spot stuff. But I do like to carry on and keep the sweet spot on the long climbing stuff going as well. And one reason for that is even though this week we're mostly focusing on that anaerobic stuff, if you look at Wednesday, there was this workout where I did the 1 minute erg power test, as you can see here, but then it was straight into 4 blocks of 20 minutes at sweet spot, punctuated every 2 minutes by a surge for 15 seconds. Now that's really tough, right? Because again, if you just gave me even 1 hour straight block at sweet spot, yes, it would hurt, but I would settle in fairly quickly to a cadence and rhythm. The really difficult thing about this 15 seconds of punch is not so much the actual punch itself, it's the 30 seconds that comes after that where you try to get back into your rhythm at sweet spot. So what I've found is that even though it's 2 minutes at sweet spot with a 15-second punch, it effectively becomes 1.5 minutes at sweet spot with a good 30 seconds of just pain trying to sit back down, settle back into your cadence and get going again. So yeah, I mean, I'm generally fairly reasonable at these workouts, but this is tough. The punchiness of it's tough. And then typically, yeah, very, very Phil Rich on top of this. Let's tack on another hour and 10 minutes at zone 2 to get the TSS up. But this was fairly high zone 2. This was, 230 watts. That's the kind of the border there, really. So that built up quite a bit. And then the aforementioned workout the next day, which was the really spiky one, which again, I'm not afraid to say that I had to increase the recovery periods to be 3 and 3.5 minutes at times as the workout went on, because there was quite a bit of fatigue in the legs from the day before. As you can see, I was doing this workout at a form of -16 anyway. So yeah, get through that, have 10 minutes recovery, and then tack on an hour and 38 at 225 here. So yeah, who's your Shamrock cream provider? Funny you should say that, actually, Sam. That's a really good comment, because I've made some little adaptations to my bike position, which is now a lot easier to do because I've got the kicker bike, which was purchased partially because I wanted to, and my old trainer was getting about 4 years old. But secondly, Laura has been getting into Zwift on the bike as well, and it's so much easier to change the bike between me using it and Laura using it in a few clicks. And she hasn't really got her own bike anyway, so that's really quite good. But yeah, it is something that I've noticed. I've been tweaking the position because when you spend a long time in a saddle, just churning away at zone 2, it's not. It's just about the sort of sweat build up and stuff, you know. Thoughts on a kicker bike? Yeah, it really good so far. Really smooth, really quiet. I need to get it on a better mat at the moment because when I sprint, and when I sprint, I mean this is my sprint. I can still move the bike on the current floor because it tilts back onto wheels, so you can move it easily. But if you're putting up on the handlebars too much, you can move it onto the wheels, etc. But I like it because I wasn't overly happy over the years of putting my sort of Trek Madone onto the Kicker 2017, which was my previous trainer. And I did notice that, again, even with my lack of punch, I could still move the bike and the whole trainer. And I was just concerned about a nice carbon frame, you know, how long it would really stand up to that from a resilience perspective, really. So, you know, not to mention that, but it's also the fact that having had it for 3.5 years, touch wood, it's been really good. But I was just like, sod's law, isn't it? It's going to be the start of winter, start of another lockdown, and my trainer will break and I won't be able to get a new one, and it will just, you know, there's lockdown in the UK and there's lockdown without a smart trainer. And I can assure you they'd be very two different things from a mental perspective. So, you know, I justify this to myself in many different ways. And yeah, pretty happy with it so far. But I will do a full report on the Kicker bike probably once I've had it for about 3 months. But so far, really enjoying it, enjoying the smoothness, and yeah, certainly enjoying the fact that I'm not stressing my frame. That's for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are. Vegan cake break yesterday, flat race today. I will do a 20-minute cool down in a minute, and then tomorrow's just TBC 200 TSS. So we can try and wrap up the week at 11:40 TSS, but we'll see how that goes. Just how I recover from this ride, really. I haven't tried any other indoor bikes, no. Other interesting metrics. So because I do put a lot of TSS in, I do burn a fair number of calories. These are some other interesting stats you can see from the past 90 days. So you can see how my my ATL, CTL, and form sit. You can see it's been quite a big build, so we are building a bit of a well of fatigue here, but we'll have a recovery week next week. You can see the amount of time I spend in various heart rate zones on the bike. So I am dominated by zone 1, zone 2, hence a lot of that zone 2 work. So 53 plus 20, about 73% in zone 1 and zone 2 heart rates. There you go, 20% in zone 3 recently, a few races. And yeah, 6.5% zone 4. Power zones on the bike, again, dominated 47%, 26. That is almost exactly 80-20 training, if you look at the percentages there. Other interesting numbers to look at are the graphs. So in the past 90 days, my 5-minute power puts me, 6.16 there, puts me apparently in Cat 1 for that. Just edging into Cat 1 with my last FTP test, which was 5.2 watts per kilo. You don't often do a 60-minute test, so that's never that accurate. And the 1-minute test we did this week puts us in Cat 3, which was somewhat as expected, really. Yeah, lots on Training Peaks, Phil. Get your graphs up there. You can see my average TSS, as mentioned, average TSS 829, average intensity factor 0.72. So again, backing up most of that zone 2 training there. You're considering Fred Britain in May? Possibly, Phil. Yeah, it's not too far from where I am, and I've not done it yet. Yeah, very punchy stuff that. There is some time for stuff from running here. Obviously, earlier in the year, I was training for triathlons, but that kind of got knocked on the head quite early on. So you can basically just customize the screen as you want. If you click on the charts library, you can add any chart you want. I am a scientist in background, so I love all the data. Average calorie burn per week. So on average, I burn 11,780 kilojoules on top of that I need to survive. So with my BMI, if I don't move, I need about 1,600 calories per day. Obviously, that's not accurate because I do move, even in my desk job. So if we said 2,000 calories was a benchmark, that would be 14,000 calories across the week just to sustain. So I'm almost having to eat twice with the extra work that I'm doing here. So we're looking at about, on average, 26,000 calories a week effectively to maintain my mass. So, and on a vegan diet, I can tell you that's a lot of broccoli. Luckily, I love broccoli. Other things like resting heart rate overnight, that's quite important, I find, to monitor my recovery. I've been wearing a Whoop band for the past nearly 18 months, and that monitors things like HRV. And you can see that the HRV recovery, this is quite related to how well your body is ready for stress. I am going to do another blog article on that at some point, because that, if you look at your trends for your HRV over time, it shows how much a kind of a well you're digging for yourself, and whether you are actually getting fitter or you're just getting fit and fatigued versus fit and fresh. So that's pretty interesting. My weight currently is 65. As you can see here, in fact, let's just blow this up a little bit. There you go. That is my weight over the past 3 months or so. So it does fluctuate quite a lot. I find this is a big thing, especially on a vegan diet. Depending upon the amount of vegetables, and I do have to consume large bowls of vegetables. Most people would see the amount of food that I eat and go, how the hell are you 65 kilos? But so much of it is fibrous carbs. But because of that, depending upon when you eat those and the amount of water you've drunk, depending upon the amount of workouts you've done, your weight can fluctuate hugely. So I weigh myself every day, but I consider my weight to be the rolling 7-day average. So when I update Zwift and stuff, I do that based upon the rolling 7-day average weight. But yeah, you can see, there are some days where I weigh one day at the same time, 10 past 6, 64.6 kilograms. Yeah. The very next day, 66.3. So we're talking about a 1.7 kilogram difference overnight, which then again drops down the next day. And, so this is why people need to be very careful. So many people will stand on the scales and go, oh my God, it's 1.5 kilos. But anytime you get such a big difference like that, it's mostly water weight. So, look at your weekly trends, plot those. But don't really stress too much about the day-to-day stuff there, really. So, yeah. You prefer cake? I mean, to be fair, I do eat my fair share of cake. Laura, my better half, who I just like to say supports my cycling and my endeavours hugely. Her main hobby is cooking and baking, and like many people over this lockdown period, she's got into doing a lot of sourdough stuff. So we make quite a few sourdough cakes and crumpets and all that sort of stuff. So, Laura made some sourdough crumpets yesterday. I had a couple of those as a kind of dessert last night to get some carbs in before the race. Sourdough ginger cake, brownies. So yeah, it's an unusual day that I don't have some form of cake, shall we say. But again, when your main plate of food is at least 50% greenery, and then the rest of it might be a protein source, be it a tofu, a tempeh, some beans, some chickpeas or stuff, you can just get away with it, because I'm the sort of person that needs a lot of food in my belly. I like the kind of the fullness feeling. But the sorts of food I eat are not particularly calorie dense. So on a day like today, which has been most days this week, I will have to make sure that I do have probably 5 or 6 meals. There'll be a meal at lunchtime, a big lasagna. There'll probably be 2 slices of homemade bread with peanut butter on top to make sure I get those good fats in and a good calorie density there and a bit of protein. And then there'll be something in the evening as well, some homemade soup probably as well. So, you got to make sure you do that, really. So yeah, absolutely. So I mean, in fact, it's another interesting thing to look at. What do you think I've never been a massive guy, right? I mean, I've always been that kind of ectomorph physiology. But when I first started on Zwift about 3 years ago, I wouldn't have considered myself to be at all overweight per se for my height. I am 6'1" or 185 centimeters. But if we interestingly go back to my all the events since I was first on Zwift Power, let's do that. Let me log in quickly. I will wrap this stream up and cool down before my legs completely seize up soon. That was my weight, Gus, or Goose. We were just talking about that briefly. If I go to profile and look at my history. So yeah, what do you guys think? I weigh 65 kilos now. I got onto Zwift and Zwift Power about 3 years ago. What do you reckon my weight was when I first got onto Zwift? Guesses in the chat. There'll be a prize for the winner to be determined. 73. All right. Any advance on 73? And it looks like 73 is going to be the winner. Okay, I'll order it. I'll reverse order it, and let's see. So my first event on Zwift was on the 16th of September 2017 at 76.7 kilograms, which actually was about the highest weight I've been. I may have been 78 when I moved back from living in Chicago. I can tell you, 18 months of living in Chicago will put weight on. So yeah, that was the highest weight possibly I've ever been. And it'll be interesting to see how that dropped down. So as you can see, I was, first got on the bike, first race. Apparently I won there in C. 239 watts, 3.1 watts per kilo there, okay. And we haven't got to drill down too far, so that was end of 2017. Quite big jumps here, So if we go down to, there's years here. Yeah, so 2018, I was kind of rocking about the 73, 74, a couple of kilos down. Most of that was outdoor riding. Oh, nice, Paul. Nice. Yeah, sorry, I can't see Twitch chat at the moment. I can only see YouTube. So yeah. 2018, I was running 74. That was mostly getting out and doing outdoor rides. And then if we go down to kind of mid 2019, you'll notice there's quite a big drop from like 73 here to 69. I said to myself, let's try to do an active weight loss. And over about 3 months, I just said, let's just monitor calories in and out and see what we can do. And I probably dropped a bit too much, to be honest, too quickly, but it just happened to come off quite easily. And I didn't change too much, I was on the vegan diet at that point, but I just actually did some calorie counting. For the first and only time in my life, I did about 6 weeks of calorie counting. And it was fascinating. It really did change the way that I viewed the types of food that I ate. So a combination of the vegan lifestyle and also calorie counting a bit more really made quite a big difference there as well, really. So yeah, hey, no worries, Phil. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate this has been going on a little bit. But yeah, so we dropped down to about 69. 67 came pretty quickly after that towards the mid of 2019. And after that, it was just a slow progression from 65 to 66. And yeah, I think I did possibly pop back up to about 67 earlier in the year when I was doing more kind of triathlon based stuff. But yeah, ultimately 65 to 66 is pretty good. Keeps me at a BMI of around 19, which is pretty sustainable for me with my current activity. So yeah, there we go. That's where the graph is at the moment. Sorry, the results. So 14th, yeah, we just couldn't quite hold on to that final group to ended up finishing a minute behind there. But I'm generally fairly happy with my performance. I'll be pretty fascinated to see what a normalized power was. For a flat race, I was always going to put out a bit more watts per kilo than some of the other guys. But I'm pleased to say it certainly wasn't the highest there. And that was pretty good, really. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Gus. I am. I've got a lot of content to catch up on now. So I appreciate that, guys. The stream has been going on for quite a while. I'm sure I've been talking nonsense for a long time, but hopefully there was something there for you guys to glean. Feel free to shoot me any questions. Comment down below on the YouTube, probably the best place for it. If you have any queries about what I've gone through there. And yeah, I appreciate all you guys hanging around for the race. It was a lot of fun, definitely out of my comfort zone, but it was something which complements the sort of, short burst training I've been doing. And I was pleased to hang on until almost the grim end there, with just a few kilometers to go. So that was great. And yeah, look out for the blog article coming out this weekend, which will summarize the last month of training, new 1 minute power best and new 5 minute power best, and just lots of suffering ultimately. So yeah, thanks for that, Mr. Lavrak. Guys, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.